From Creamer Media in Johannesburg, this is the Real Economy Report. A British team will aim to break the landspeed record on Hakskeen Pan in the Northern Cape in 2013, and it's looking for South African companies and schools to become involved in the 1600 km/h attempt. Engineering News Deputy Editor Irma Venter spoke to Andy Green, the current landspeed world record holder, about the Bloodhound record attempt.
The current landspeed record was set in 1997 by the thrust supersonic car at 1,227 km/h. Bloodhound, named after a decades-old UK missile, will have the same driver as the thrust had, Royal Air Force Wing Commander Andy Green. Green says although the new record attempt has a hefty price tag, it will also offer some generous benefits to those who choose to become involved.
The cost is a very good question. We have not only a huge challenge with the technology, we have a huge challenge with the funding. And in the current global financial climate, it is a challenge. The thing that's really surprised me, I've done this before, the thing that has surprised me is we are finding it relatively easy to get the money. Big sponsors are still getting very interested in this project, despite the financial challenges. And the reason for that is not just because this is a fantastically exciting project, we're building the ultimate racing car, but because of the education side, because we have a global education project, because we already have nearly 2 million students involved, because we are leaving a legacy, which is that next generation of scientists and engineers, 10 and 12-year-old kids who are already excited about science, who in 15 years' time will be the engineers and scientists of tomorrow, building and maintaining our low-carbon, high-technology world. And that's something that a lot of companies are very, very keen to support, and it's something that we are pushing forwards, getting them excited in Bloodhound technology, using our education programme, our education centres in the UK, and we now have a permanent education programme based here in South Africa, and we are widening that to go across South Africa. An awful lot of companies are getting involved. One of the things we're looking forward to now is getting South African companies involved in supporting that, because this will be a legacy that will live long, long beyond the landspeed record. This will be the next generation of innovators for South Africa, and we're really keen to get that project started.
So is there any figure you can put on the table for the cost of this?
To give you an idea, I will give you a very big number. 150 million rand. That's a huge amount of money if you don't have it. Or, here we are at the end of the Formula One season. That's about how much Ferrari spent not winning the Grand Prix yesterday. So, you know, it's a weekend of Grand Prix racing, or a generation of scientists and engineers and the greatest landspeed record in history, 1600 km/h. Now, I think that's pretty good value for money. And actually, we've got quite a lot of money already. And as I say, we are trying to get some South African companies involved in this so that they can get the benefit of that as well. So we're very confident we're going to get that. And we are going to be in South Africa in 2013, running on the world's best racetrack, running the world's fastest car.
Transnet Rail Engineering unveils the first 36 new-built rail tankers for fertiliser supplier Omnia. Henry Lazenby has the story.
State-owned transport utility Transnet's subsidiary, Transnet Rail Engineering, or TRE, on November 3 unveiled the first 36 of 145 new-built ammonia rail tanker wagons to be constructed in South Africa for explosives and fertilizer supplier Omnia. Following the expansion of its production facilities, Omnia needed additional tanker wagons to transport more ammonia, which would be imported through the Richards Bay terminal to its inland plants. Omnia CE Rod Humphreys explains why Omnia decided to place such a significant order with TRE.
Well, I think for the Omnia Group this was a big step for us. We have never owned such wagons before, and so to make such a decision, clearly we needed to understand the capabilities and develop trust in the manufacturing organization. So initially we did consider whether we should not in fact source these wagons internationally, but I think after evaluating the skills of Transnet Rail Engineering, we were comfortable that they had the right skills, and despite the fact that they had not made such a specialized wagon, which was really our requirement, we were confident in their abilities and, you know, their quality controls in particular to make such a wagon and to make it within the specifications, within the budget and within the time frames. And we know those timeframes were quite tight for production of this type of nature. And I think we can say comfortably today we're really happy that we did that. On top of that, you know, they understand the local requirements, the local rail safety regulators' requirements, and that was important for us, as well as clearly developing an ongoing relationship in terms of maintenance, etc., into the future.
Omnia initially placed an order of 120 tanker wagons with TRE, but later extended the order with 25 more wagons. The first 110 wagons are scheduled for delivery by December 15, while the remaining 35 would be delivered by March 2012. From about April 2012, Omnia intends to run up to 3 block trains a week between its inland plants and the port of Richards Bay. TRE-CE, Richard Valihu, believes that this significant first rolling stock order will go a long way to securing further orders from the Southern African customers.
Just to put it in perspective, and we're very thankful to our customer Omnia for the confidence and the trust in building this ammonia wagon in record time, may I add. And we leverage on our capabilities that we have, and showcasing our product like we did today gives, you know, our potential customers the confidence that, you know, rather than looking elsewhere, that they'd rather look at our capabilities in terms of quality, in terms of cost, and, you know, and just how competitive we are, you know, when it comes to producing wagons, locomotives, and coaches. This paves the road not just for South Africa, but it's a springboard for our capability and for building rolling stock for Southern Africa and beyond. And it's nothing new that we haven't done. You know, we have a footprint in 13 countries in Africa at the moment, and we've got globally there is a railway renaissance, and we're finding that is the case, because indications are from the railways just beyond our borders is that there is obviously a keen sense for them to have, you know, this rolling stock capital injection.
The new ammonia tanker wagons can carry about 74,000 litres of ammonia and has an axle loading of 20 tonne. The bodies are constructed of high-grade boilerplate steel that are designed to withstand pressures of up to 1,930 kilopascals. The order for the construction of 145 new rail tankers to a completely new design and to the latest safety specifications for high-pressure rail vessels catapulted TRE into the next frontier of rail engineering and construction. Valihu explained that TRE took the decision to invest close to R1 billion in its TRE Germiston works to upgrade the shops to the latest and leanest manufacturing standards and equip it with the most modern machinery. With today's launch of Omnia's new ammonia tanker wagons, Transnet Rail Engineering has demonstrated that it has the capabilities and capacities to construct new rolling stock for Southern Africa's railways. For Creamer Media TV, I am Henry Lazenby in Pretoria.
Other news making headlines this week. A report states that upscaling renewables beyond the IRP allocations will drive green jobs, and Protec Kutele expects weak market conditions to linger. A new Green Jobs report estimates that more than 130,000 direct jobs could be created by South Africa's renewable energy sector by 2025, but only if the renewables allocation outlined in the current Integrated Resource Plan 2010 to 2030 is materially expanded.
These two forces then, of climate change on the one hand, of economic crisis on the other hand, require us to have fresh approaches, new models of economic development, new sources of jobs growth. This presents the context for the increasing recognition in South Africa and globally of the importance of the green economy for environmental sustainability, but also as a lever for growth, for development, and for employment creation.
Civil engineering group Protec Kutele recorded a decrease in overall revenue for the financial period ending August 31. The company said a significant factor affecting the slump was the continued severe decline in public and private sector spend.
Some of the main factors that have impacted on the results is the slow rollout of capital projects in the mining industry, the lack of private and public infrastructure works, and the high competition and low margins that we are seeing in that arena. And part of the thing that Protec has been good at is shifting sector focus rapidly when they need to, and have recently moved into Africa with selected mining clients in the mining services segment.
That's Creamer Media's Real Economy Report. Join us again next week for more news and insight into South Africa's real economy.